Hi everyone, welcome back. I want to briefly talk to you about the certification requirements for certified B Corps, because I know that you're probably interested in that. It doesn't take much, it's going to be a quick one, but it's good to touch base on what exactly you need to do to become certified. So what is a B Corp? Just to remind ourselves, certified B Corps, or B Corps for short, are companies verified by B Lab to meet high standards of social and environmental performance. They exhibit transparency and accountability, and they are the leaders in the global movement for an inclusive, equitable, and regenerative economy. You'll hear us repeat that a lot, I promise. But of course, you're here to know, okay, how exactly can I become a B Corp? What do I need to do? What do I need to meet? Which kind of requirements do I need to meet? If you want to put it very bluntly, there's 3 elements that you need to take into account. We've talked in previous video already about the B impact assessment. So the first requirement here is meeting the high standards of social and environmental performance that B Lab has by scoring at least 80 verified points out of about 200 in the BIA, the B Impact Assessment, our digital tool that maps out a company's impact on all of its stakeholders. So that's it. You need to first do a self-assessment, and then you can, if you score 80 points on that self-assessment, you can submit your assessment for review, after which one of our analysts will verify that score for you, and it needs to be above 80 points. Secondly, you need to formally commit to consider the impact you have on all your stakeholders by amending your articles of associations, or in Dutch, the statuten. So you need to implement 2 clauses in your legal documents, which basically say, as a company, we have a goal to not only serve financial purposes, but we also exist to have an overall positive influence on the stakeholders that we deal with. This is a mandatory part for every B Corp, so all B Corps have implemented this stakeholder governance into their articles of association, and you will have to do that too. So it's good to have that on the radar, especially if you have multiple shareholders. This may be something that you want to get started with sooner rather than later. And lastly, you need to exhibit a level of transparency, and that's mostly relating to having your impact score publicly visible on your B Corp profile, which is visible to everyone. There are also some eligibility requirements. So these are some of the requirements that need to be met for you to even be eligible for certification. So companies need to be more operational for more than a year, and they need to operate in locations where B Lab has local representation. And the good news is that companies of any size are in principle eligible for certification. They need to be for profit. That's another requirement. So make sure that you, in the Netherlands, that would either be a BV or an NV or an eenmanszaak. It really relates to your legal structure. So you have to be a for-profit company. As I said, you can be of any size. There are 0-worker companies that are B Corps, but also companies with thousands of employees. You need to be operational for more than a year. Why is that? Well, the B Impact Assessment is it looks at the impact that has already been made, right? So it's a retrospective assessment. It looks at impact that has already been realized, so it cannot be based on aspirations for the future or expectations or plans that haven't been put to practice yet. So you need to have at least 1 year of operations to report on for you to score those 80 points. If you are, and I'm going to skip to this next section here. If you are operational for less than a year, not to worry. There is an alternative offering, namely the pending B approach. You'll find plenty of information about this on our website if you Google it, also if you click the link here on the slide. But so there is an alternative for companies that are not quite 1 year old yet, but still want to be part of the movement. So that's good news for those startup companies. And as I mentioned, you have to be located in a region where local B-Lab representation is present. There's another little item that I want to mention, is that B-Lab has consistently been identifying and controversial industries and developing additional standards for those industries. And some industries and practices are even outright ineligible for certification. So it's good to be aware of that. You can find the most up-to-date list of industries and additional requirements on our website. You can click the link here on the slide or find it by just putting it into your search engine. But yeah, it's good for you to be aware that there are some industries and practices which B-Labs deems eligible but need to meet additional requirements or outright ineligible. So do please keep an eye out for that. The good news is that we have a customized eligibility check for you to use to determine whether or not you are affected by any of our ineligibility industries or any other factors that may put your eligibility at risk. So you can click the link here in the slide, and we have a bit of just a customized decision tree, which will ask you some preliminary questions, which can indicate whether or not you should be worried about eligibility or whether you can simply proceed with certification. So this checklist is really your go-to resource for determining whether or not you can pursue certification. That's it, I think, for now. I want to wish you good luck in your certification journey and catch you on the next one.